Okay, we got some parts here we want to put on. Specifically, we're going to start with this muffler. Wings. It's going to replace this guy. So this will be a new experience. I guess I'm going to have to take... do you have to take the whole fender off? Wow. Really? Interesting. Maybe it's just a cover. Let's put this back on the 500. So, got this here muffler. Mounting bracket. I got this thing and I ordered it, and I got an email from Gozard in Slovenia that he shipped it, and that was on the 9th of February. On the 11th, this thing shows up my door 2 days from Slovenia to Colorado. Can you believe it? Oh, look at it. It gives me a free pin. How cool. Thanks, Gozard. And check if there's anything else in the box. It sent the instructions online. So, you've got that. And that comes with a little tube of lubricant that you put on the inside of the plastic to allow this thing to slide around. Alright. Let's see if this camera will mount here while I'm talking to it. I don't like stooping over. Wings.si, or is it SL for Slovenia? Alright, so we have a pen. Got my shirt. And a t-shirt. Alright, so this is the transition piece, the adapter, and you're supposed to remove the DB killer out of there. Alright, so this is the DB killer that makes it quieter, and looks like this was TIG welded together, or maybe MIG. Nice job. There's a T25, that works. Alright, that had a little guard on it. I wonder if that still gets used once we take the muffler off. I don't know. And somewhere, okay, there's a mount right under here. For this muffler, so we'll have to, I think this is supposed to be a T30, but it seems to have enough purchase with the T25. Let me pull the seat off. Which I already had loosened. It's kind of cool. We're going to go down to become a naked bike. And I have a feeling I'm going to have to take these handles off too. Here's the steering mount for the Scott's Performance. We'll get to that later on. I don't know if I'm missing something or not. I'm going to put these little screws right here. Oh, this guy is the replacement for the Seat Concepts button, and they give you a new one. So I'll put that on my little shop scooter, the Yamaha. I used to race Yamahas, flat tracking. Alright, so now it looks like I'm going to have to take off this here fuel cap. Yep. Okay. Looks like this tube has to come off. Now I have a new billet. There we go. That's making more sense now. We need to get a massive Torx for that. So let's see, I had one all set up here earlier. Don't know what I did with it. Oh, I know where it is. Turn back around. There we go. So this is what size Torx we got here? Torx plus T40. Okay. That's the US number. It seems a little loose. I'll bet you T45 is better, but I don't know if I have one. But this is working. Since I'm doing this one-handed, I think I'll revert to a T-handle. There we go. See that T-handle? I made this thing back in 1969. And then they got sold by the shop I was working for. It was a distributor. Where's my dog? I think it's time for a new set of T-handles. I think I'll indulge myself. I guess these guys come off if you're going to get a luggage rack. you'll want to take these off. But since I have a tendency to fall down on back trails, I need something that makes sure my posse can help pick my bike up for me when I fall down. Alright. Now let's see if this magically will lift up. I'm missing a screw. No. This is loose. That's loose. There's got to be something else here. Here's one screw under there. What do you guys think? You think this is it? Could be. So that's a pretty small socket. Let's see if a quarter-inch, yeah, it unscrews it, and a quarter-inch is 0.25 inches. Okay, we're having some measure of success. So the entire taillight assembly looks like it wants to pick up. And we're just catching right here under the... Whoop, there we go. Alright. And looks like we got... So this is what's happening, folks. This is what it looks like. I just took the screw that was out of there that went in the bottom. And that gives us access to the muffler, so we don't have to take the wires off anymore. So the wires are all going to be right here. Got to make sure we don't, when we go to put it back on, it's got this little ruby thing here. Okay. I'll put that just like that. And alright, so I'm actually, I don't have hardly any gas in this because I'm trying to run it out to see how far I can go. I'm currently at what am I? I'm distracting myself. No, that one wants a different one. Anyway, I've gone 141 miles on the existing tank until the light came on. And then I went another 9 miles, so I'm up to 150, actually 10 miles, so I'm up to 151, which is coincidentally the same distance it is on Moab from the motel to the motel. So, it figures. I'm going to assume that the new bracket is using the same shock absorber that this guy's attached to. It looks like it has a blind screw, which it does. And then think this is going to stay with the KTM. I'll put that in there. Okay, so, man, that's a big difference in weight. Say goodbye to the wife. She's busy. She's telling me she bought me some coffee. All right, so it's in there. So great. Bye, hon. Thanks. She made me some. What a good wife. Okay, so this is off, and I'm going to turn this off for just a second. I'm going to get. Okay, I'm back. I got my cup of coffee. And I think this is supposed to come loose. Yep. And then I think this guy here, according to the directions, say it's supposed to come loose, but let's find out. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, let's go over to the computer. Alright, so it's saying remove the original sealing brush. And we've my computer is not cooperating. I don't have a bar anyway. So we're going to have a header, link pipe, this whole thing. Alright. So we need to remove that bush. It doesn't say how we're supposed to remove it. Well, so this is a new bike, so now it does turn. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's see, it appears that we're going to be putting this on here. But before we do that, let's compare the weight of these two objects. So, I have over here a scale, which I'm going to zero out. I'll turn on first, of course. Okay, so I've got it in pounds right now. We'll put the brackets that were on there. And here's the stock muffler. See? There's a stock muffler. and it weighs exactly 10 pounds, which is 4.6 kilos. Alright, set that aside. The new muffler with its mounting bracket and its adapter weighs 5 pounds or 2.2 kilograms. Interesting. So that's a 5-pound weight reduction. I don't think I'm missing any of the parts. No, that's them, unless you want to count the guard. Maybe the card gets subtracted off too. Alright, over here again. I was supposed to break this thing in somewhere or another. So, loosening the clamp. It says up. Okay. That's fairly straightforward. And then you got this guy, which I assume is going to go right through there. And it's a 6mm, not a 5. So the instructions say to take this lube. It's interesting. I ordered some these TCL cameras SC200 out of Jovu in UK. It's taken 2 months. I still haven't got it. So this says a bottle contains a special lubricating fluid. Use this fluid to lubricate the internal surface of the clamp, the rubber which supports the silencer. Other notes that I've seen say basically if you don't do that and it doesn't help, if it doesn't find its natural position and then you tighten it down, you'll bend the muffler. So we don't want that. It's also, they want you to let's clean off any of the excess. I don't know. Smells good. Could be olive oil for all I know. Okay. Give yourselves a little bit more space. And also to prevent coloration or discoloration, they want you to clean the clean the muffler, get rid of all the fingerprints and everything. So I'm having to loosen the mounting clamp. Okay, now we're back up here. This way I can see the bolt. Yeah, I think that's got it. Woohoo! So everything is loose right now, so everything can find its natural position. Oops. Okay, now I'll cut the... So it does have a place for the shield. That's good. Now we've got two other clamps. Everything seems to be pushed to where it needs to be. I'm fully bottomed out on here, right there. So I'll move that clamp there. This one seems to be right on its flat. So having this 5 pounds off up high is really nice. So if the rated value without fuel on this is 315 pounds, we're now just down 10 pounds or to 310. It'd be really cool if we could get this down to below 300, this bike. I'm sure that this big heavy muffler was counterbalanced by all the fuel that's on the right hand side under the fender. So I wonder if when you're going down the road, if you're kind of leaning to the right or something. Well, the guys at Dakar don't seem to have a problem. Alright, so, I think one thing that's going to determine where this muffler is supposed to be is where this is at. So, I think that could go, and loosen up a little bit. So when you're going to put the guard on, it appears that maybe the guard must be right there. Alright, glad I looked at it. Now we've talked about lightening up this guy, the guard, by drilling a bunch of holes in it. You know, what do you think about that? I don't know how much we can lose if it's really worth the trouble and the additional places that mud could collect. But let's see how much it weighs. Let's say, for example, we got another scale here, a little bit lighter. Let's say we took out enough material that made this thing 1/2 its weight. Alright, so right now it weighs 9.4 ounces to 270 grams. So you might be able to knock off 1/4 pound at the most. I think I'll just go on a diet. Yeah, that's the best way to have your bike, if you want your bike to be lighter for performance, is stop screwing around with the bike and just lose some weight. Isn't that right, Deacon? Okay. So evidently on this one there's a, oh, before we do this, let's spray everything down. There's a short screw and a long screw with a rubber bushing. Right there, see that? That goes, there are bushings on this end, the short screw on that end. So now let me get some alcohol. Clean up the muffler, get rid of all of our fingerprints. Orzard says if you don't clean the fingerprints off it when you get done with the install, and as it heats up, you'll start creating permanent marks on it. The fingerprints kind of burn into it, which is, and then all you have to do is the FBI comes and looks at your bike and then gets your fingerprints. What do you think? That's being paranoid, isn't it? Or if you're in Europe, the CIA. But we do a good job of taking care of bad guys if you got a strong enough president, which we don't. Because no one else in the world seems to want to do it. Alright. One more pass with some clean alcohol, a cleaner part of the rag. So this cost $426. And now there's a bunch of foam in here that has to get run in or broken in, just like the engine. He says you want to drive 300 kilometers without going full throttle, and the reason is the foam that he's got in here, it needs to expand and fill the areas. If you go full throttle, it'll be so much pressure, you just kind of maybe push all the foam around to one end or the other and have some vacant holes in it. So to make sure it equalizes all over the whole, inside the whole silencer area, you're supposed to break it in. So we'll do that. I still need to get another 300 miles on this before my oil change anyway, before I go to Moab. So let's put this guy on. Actually, I'll start with the rubber baby buggy bumper part first. too sure which end goes where. There's metal there, it's metal there. Let's just assume that the metal goes against the guard, and then the rubber will go against that part, because now there's nice flat areas. Of course, you do want to drill holes in this thing. It would definitely give your bike a different look than your bike. When people come around and look at your bike, they'll think, wow, you've got lightning holes, you must be a racer. But that's a nice guard. I think that's going to keep little kids from burning themselves. At least on that pipe. I don't know. The stock pipe gets really hot. Alright, so now the only thing left to do is, first of all, it looks really nice, doesn't it? It's got this carbon fiber on the back, nice and shiny. I could learn a lot from him on how he did this. Maybe I should ask him if he would make a skid plate for me. Alright, so now we're back up to putting this back on. Here we go. So I've got to make sure that the wires aren't there where they need to be, but they're not going to get pinched. And you gotta slide this under the fuel part. And now we've got, what's under here? So if you want to disconnect your signal lights or anything, now you know kind of how to get to them. There's a little piece of plastic in here. It's part of the rubber bush, I guess. Anyway, so there's 4 mounting holes here, 2 underneath the seat, two on the sides. This one goes right into the gas tank. Another one on this side. Don't quite know what's all in there. Looks like a lot of fun things. The battery and everything's in there. Used to be, when I was a product development engineer, the big deal was, you know something, I don't like that. I may be crimping a wire into there. It was designed for manufacturability. Then we changed it to design for disassembly. And just don't like those wires being into there. Okay. I feel better with that. I should have paid more attention. Look at the video when I was taking it apart. So double check it when I start on this. Are those wires really supposed to be there? I think so. So designed for disassembly means you can go repair the sucker. Alright, then this is the fuel overflow hose. Get on there. Now I'm changing this gas cap to a screw-on one to get more orange in the bike. I have a feeling it's going to add more weight to it too, so that's going to make it harder overall. Like the, just for example, by the way, the seat concepts seat, which is sitting here, and my stock seat, which is sitting there. The stock seat weighs 4 pounds. The seat concept weighs 5 pounds. So between the muffler and the seat, I've only lost 4 pounds up high. Okay, now we got one more. One more screw. See that or not? And that's, the dog is moaning. That's right there. And it found its way home just fine. But I need a smaller tool for that. Okay, so it's a 6mm. Okay, good. Let me put this gas cap back on. I look quite clever, all in all, but I guess everybody wants to change these things. Alright, now the only other thing left to do is figure out why there's rubber down in here.
Alright, remember when I was looking in there, I was putting this back together again, I looked down the little holes and I was seeing some sort of plastic in there and some sort of goober, and turns out that's actually the wiring that's going through there is actually worn down, because this part here, when they put this on, went right through it. So I'm going to have to take a picture of that. Yeah, that's not good. So watch out for that when you take the part off. See if you see anything that looks like some sort of rubber gasket in there. It's not a bushing. It's actually the insulation that goes on the wires. So we'll have to make sure and I wonder if this is something lighter you can get replaced. But anyway, so I have to make sure that this is out of the way. And the first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to make sure that that wire is not hurting or is not torn apart. So I'm going to cut that off. Got the little tie wrap here, and then see so I'm going to be very carefully just take the insulation off. Okay, then slide it down. No, I'm still connected. One little more piece. There we go. There we go. See, so see that? That could have given us some problems later on. There's 3 wires. So this is your brake light, your signal light. And we assume the frame is a ground somewhere or another. I don't know. Let me double check with the key. Oh dear. Alright, so we got that guy. We got that guy. And we have a brake. Alright. The wires are intact. That's good to know. But so we just need to reinforce then the insulation. This is a part of the project I hadn't quite figured on, but I got some really magic stuff. Let's see if I can find it. Yay! Liquid electrical tape. Okay. So since it looks like I'm not missing, it looks like maybe only one of the strands of the copper is broken, we should be okay. Nasty goop. So it dries pretty fast. I'm going to keep it away from the other wires temporarily. And put another coat. You see that? Alright, so I've added insulation back onto it. And then let's see what it says. Disconnect your power before using. Stir product. Make sure surface cleaner dry. Let complete coat repair area. Allow 10 minutes minimum between coats. 4-hour dry time before use. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. Okay, looks like this is really repaired. So we'll put this mashed part of the tube back over it. Just shove it down the middle. And trim this a little bit. If I hadn't gone ahead and taken it all the way apart to see why, when I was looking down that hole, I was seeing some plastic, I would have worried about it. Or one of these days, maybe. Okay, now it's like that. I think I'll take it one step further. Let's see, I moved my other project outside. Put that there. And I'm going to go ahead and use this liquid insulation to kind of take the tubing and glue it back. Yeah, I think that'll be cool. That way it won't come apart on me. We'll give that 10 minutes and we'll start putting it back together again. Okay, now that I've repaired the wire, I'll go ahead and put a tie wrap where they had it. kind of thinking maybe it needs to be more down this way. So it keeps these two wires together. Okay, let's try putting it back together then. I don't know what's the best way to do this. So it's got these little pokey pieces on here. That's supposed to go inside those. So I guess the best thing to try to do it is, I'm going to knock the camera off again. You can just see that happening. Put these pieces in loosely. Oops. Trying to kill my camera again. Okay, it's not cooperating. Well, I don't know why it's not cooperating. It's just a class tight screw. There we go. Now we need to put this back in here so it comes out there. I think they could have done a better job. Maybe create a channel for the wire. Okay, now here's this channel here. So So I guess what we're going to have to make sure we do is that when we go to put the handle in, we shove the plastic off to the side. So I can see it right down here in the way. Alright, let's get... I think this one's fine. This one back here, see that there? It's still in the way there. So we have to make sure that when we go to do this, when we put the other piece back in, we shove that off to the side there. Which evidently whoever put the handles on or took them off or whatever did not do. Alright, let me go put the... I really don't like doing things twice. Okay, that one found its mark. Put this tube back on. Again, like I said, it's going to come back off again soon. That's nice. Gas tank side. Muffler side. Now I got all sorts of fingerprints on my bike, but I learned a lot about it. At least I know how it works. That's just kind of fun if you're doing maintenance. And what if these things occurred out on the trail, right? It's just kind of nice to know how to do it. That way you'll be zipping and zapping, and your friend whose bike just fell apart, you just jump right in there and you fix that thing, and he'll think you're just wonderful, like you've been working on KTMs your whole life. Alright, what's that little threaded hole there for? I don't know. See? There's a little threaded hole there. That always bothers me. Why did they put that there? Did we take anything out of there? I don't think we did. It's like it's equidistant from the latch over here. I wonder if there's supposed to be some sort of clamp like this one here that is supposed to go there, and we didn't get it. Let's take a picture of that, and we'll send it off to KTM. Say, what is it supposed to be there? I'll bet you it's a cable clamp, personally. You know what we could do? Instead of having all these questions, we could just look at an instruction manual. find out where they get a picture of it underneath the seat. Alright, well, here's a picture of that, and you'll see right there, there's nothing in it. Okay, well, mystery solved. I won't worry about it. Alright, so we've repaired that. I need to put the gas cap back off, on. And then we have a new one coming in soon. Alright, that part's done. Now we go back to what we wanted to do before. So far, we've mounted this muffler. Very pretty. And now the next step, okay, we have an extra dB killer, which I guess is louder, but we're not going to use it. So we'll put that in here. And now let's go goes alright, thanks for the t-shirt. In fact, here I'll do you one good. We'll give them some free advertising. That's a nice t-shirt, actually. Extra large. Good choice. Okay, here you go. The best dressed KTM guy around with his Wings shirt. Up there in the back. See